How was the Super Bowl in Vegas? We now know when the newest Vegas casino is going to open. Another Hard Rock is coming. All of that coming up right now on MTM Vegas, the solo show. Well, happy Monday. I do hope that you enjoyed the Super Bowl and you enjoyed your weekend. I know the game wasn't the most exciting. It was pretty boring, especially in the first half. The commercials weren't great either. I'd love to hear what you guys think about all of that. But Las Vegas did do the Super Bowl. But before the game, there was a lot of rumblings about room rates and how low they were. Inside the Pylon shared some screenshots of the room rates at some of the hotels. You have Flamingo, $92 for Saturday night, MGM Grand, $94, Circus Circus, $63, the Las Vegas Hilton at Resorts World, $115, Westgate was $68, Excalibur, $58, Rio, $66. Pretty cheap rates at the lower end properties. Of course, you would add resort fees to that, but this is far lower than what we've seen in previous years. And a lot of people are saying, hey, it's because of these $600 a seat at the sports book. We talked about that on previous shows. It's because of the cost of everything. Super Bowl weekend used to be a fun escape to Vegas, and now it's a costly one. And maybe you should go somewhere else. Maybe it's cheaper to stay home. Maybe it's cheaper to go to the big game itself. I don't know. But on the flip side, when you looked at social media and the parties, of course, there was the high roller parties at various places, and then the big watch parties at places like Westgate and Circus, Sahara's Pool. That TV looked pretty cool when I saw their watch party there. But we do have to talk about South Point. I did mention on the last show that they are the GOAT because they have it in the ballroom. They have free admission, but also the food prices. And I showed on the last show how the food prices were last year. Well, here is what they look like this year. And let's kind of dive into it. Seattle dog, $2. You can get a regular dog for $2 as well. Chili, $2. A slice of cheese and pepperoni pizza, $3. 3 chicken fingers, $5. And yeah, you can see the rest. Meatball sandwich, $6. I mean, these prices would be insanely cheap any day of the week, let alone the Super Bowl. And this is a cool thing that they continue to do at the South Point. Something I also didn't know, but apparently it's a tradition for members of the Gone family to work at the sportsbook on Super Bowl day. So apparently they did that as well. And if you're worried that they're getting you on the drinks, here's a look at the drink prices. 16-ounce Budweiser for $4. You can get 6 Buds for $20. Come on, at the Super Bowl. Goose Island IPA, $5. And then you can see the hard liquor, $5 and $6, and $3 for a soda, bottled water, Gatorade. Again, this would be cheap any other day. And it's the South Point trying to maintain that culture of Vegas Super Bowl fun, over the top. Go have fun. It's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. And we say this a lot on the show, but South Point really the last place maybe doing it to this level of value, kind of looking at the old Vegas. And it seems like a lot of people had fun there. I'd love to know how your Super Bowl went. Did you just go to a party? Did you do the old person thing and stay home? I went over to my dad's house. We enjoyed the game, but maybe not as fun as it would have been over at the South Point. But let's follow up on a previous show. Maybe a month or so ago, we talked about NVLanding and the website that one fan had created. And it turns out it's this dude named Tibor, and I can't pronounce his last name, but Corey Leviton over at casino.org, he followed up after seeing it on the show here to kind of get the inspiration for why he created this site, how he did it. And it's an interesting article. I'll throw a link down below. But what caught me off guard was this quote: "We met when we were just 19 and ran away together. Where can 2 teenagers afford to hide out? NVLanding and Gold Strike." Remember, I talked about my wife and I going out there for staycations because we weren't 21. We couldn't go to Prim, but they allowed us to stay out there. And it's so funny that his origin story is so similar to mine. Met his now current wife, and they had all those good times over at NVLanding. He used AI to sort of upscale a lot of the stuff in there, and a lot of pictures from the Internet Archive around the web, plus his own home videos that all went into it. And of course, we talked about you can go book a room, play along. It'll give you the prices from back in the day. Of course, NVLanding closed in 2007 after opening in the late 80s. An example of how casinos were trying to recreate that riverboat feeling out in the middle of the desert. I'll put links to Corey's article, which gives a great background. I think this kind of fandom, and the reason we talk about it here, is really what makes this special. It makes our relationship to Vegas special, what we did in the past. It's why we're all here. It's why we love it. And I always appreciate when somebody takes it to the next level. And I love to hear the backstory here. And again, click through that site if you didn't the last time we talked about it. You can find the restaurants, the entertainment. It is incredible. Well done. And a great way to keep our memories alive, which for many of us is quite important. But if you are into making new memories, casinos.com has this new Lucky in Love promotion, and it's running all through the month of February, and they're going to draw for the winner March 15th. And one lucky winner will win a wedding in Las Vegas, flight, accommodation, and a tailored wedding package from Elopement Las Vegas, all covered up to $10,000, because as they say, love deserves the VIP treatment. There's several ways to opt into this contest. I don't know if you're already married, will you get a vow renewal? I would hope so, but I guess they're really trying to lean into Valentine's Day, Las Vegas as the marriage capital of the world, and you can opt into some of their marketing. You can vote in some polls for where is the most loved area of Las Vegas, which casinos are better in different markets, so you can go vote on that. Several ways that you can get an entry here, but you can win $10,000 Dream Vegas wedding, and I hope that you choose to do it at the Little Church of the West, the best church where me and Elvis got married in a movie. Before we talk about the newest Vegas casino and when it's opening, we have a date, sort of. Just do me a favor, hit subscribe, the notification bell. Thousands of you who watch these videos aren't subscribed. It'll help us reach more people, help us grow the channel. Thanks so much. But Cadence Crossing, let's talk Cadence Crossing. That will be the newest casino in all of the Las Vegas area. Specifically, it is in Henderson, out kind of towards Lake Las Vegas in a subdivision called Cadence, but is really replacing Joker's Wild, which is a casino that's been on Boulder Highway for quite a long time. And I've showed you guys videos as they built this. They're essentially building Cadence Crossing in the parking lot of Joker's Wild. And that new casino, 50,000 square feet, will open at the end of March of this year. So just a couple more months until that opens. I don't think that they announced a hard closing date yet for Joker's Wild, but it should close not long after. This news came out of Boyd Gaming's earnings call, and they also said that they have significant land still available at Cadence Crossing for future development. This would probably be the land where Joker's Wild sits and some of the parking along there. We will have the opportunity to expand this property to meet the growing demand. So that tells you that this could be a larger property at 50,000 square feet, not the biggest, not this over-the-top locals casino, but it could grow into that. And it talks about Cadence, which is the master plan right next to there. It was the third best-selling master plan in the entire country last year with 1,200 new homes sold. It's growing big, but they also have this interesting thing where they were able to brand the new casino to this new master plan, but it's sitting in a spot that's been there forever, serving Boulder Highway and the wider area as well. So maybe they get the best of both worlds with this. I still haven't seen any new significant looks at what it will be on the inside. We did get renders some time ago that I will throw up on the screen, but this is the newest Vegas casino and probably the only one we're going to see open for quite a while. Hard Rock obviously under construction, but exciting for you locals. I don't know. I think anybody who likes Vegas, you should probably like a new casino. They're fun. They're interesting. I think we sort of get the quirkiness of it, and it's always fun to have something to celebrate. So I will get out there soon and film what it's looked like. I'll get you guys a construction update as we move closer to that March 2026 opening. But Hard Rock is not done. Of course, they're building the Hard Rock Las Vegas that should open in 2027, but they just announced another Hard Rock. We've talked about so many Hard Rocks. They just opened that new one near Bakersfield, which looks incredible. But now San Juan, Puerto Rico in the news so much lately. And San Juan is incredible. The old area, San Juan, down by the water. They didn't announce exactly where this is going to go, but it is going to be near the cruise terminals and near Old San Juan. So this is a very good area, very beautiful, and it's going to be right along the water. There is a casino. I've been inside at the Sheraton there, I think, but it's not a fully integrated resort or anything like that. This will be the first fully integrated resort to open in Puerto Rico, set to open in 2029. The total investment, $850 million, and that's going to get them 415 rooms, 58 suites, and 186 branded residences. They talk a lot about how music is so important to Puerto Rico and how this brand works really well with that. They're also going to have probably a Hard Rock Live, but some sort of a concert venue, a recording studio, tons of local art and memorabilia all around the property. And I kind of cover these Hard Rock things because I think secretly, and I maybe not so secretly, look at that big guitar on the strip. Hard Rock has become a huge top tier player in the gaming space all around the world, all around the country. It's sort of crazy to see. And of course, their flagship coming to the Las Vegas Strip very soon. I think we're about 70% of the way built on the exterior of that building now, so it is going up quickly. And let's close with this, the hotel that everybody loves to crap on, everybody loves to talk crap about, The hotel that still looks like it did in the 1980s, Circus Circus. I have great memories of Circus Circus because I went there as a kid in the 80s. So when I still go back today, it feels very nostalgic because it feels very similar to the way it did back then. Of course, Phil Ruffin, since he bought it from MGM, he has put some money into it, but it's been more strategic. New food court, new paints, new offerings, but not a crazy amount of money spent, not a full renovation like we would expect, or, that it probably needs at this point. All that to say that apparently they got the Mirage furniture from the rooms for Circus Circus. And Sin City Suites, here's what he had to say. Circus Circus has given the furniture from the Mirage a second life. The TV was the smallest I've ever had in a hotel room at 32 inches. So let's look at the TV. Now, I know you had to I believe these are the same kind of size TVs that were at the Mirage the last time I stayed there. So did you really have to carry over the TV? Could you not have gotten a bigger TV for the room and taken all of the rest of the furniture? I don't know. It does look tiny in that room. It is a reminder, though, that only 10 or 15 years ago, most of the hotels we stayed at had either tiny flat screens or these big tube TVs. So the era of now we're in 60-inch TVs, 70-inch TVs in hotel rooms is sort of nuts when you look at the history of hotel rooms. But let's look at this hotel room. I mean, I said this on X. If you guys follow me there, you should do that. Great content. But I said it looks sort of nice. I mean, it looks nice. I like the Mirage furniture. I like the way that those rooms were. My only kind of complaint about it was the bathroom size. And I don't think they did a ton to the bathroom here. You still have that old-fashioned wallpaper, but the furniture looks good in this room. They took out the carpet, which, if you look at, even if you go to their site right now, you can't see pictures of this furniture. They have all their old products, and you can see that old style casino hotel carpet that probably has seen better days. Now they've replaced it with laminate, which I think is really good. I've talked about how I don't think high-end hotels can do laminate anymore because now lower-end hotels have done it and you really can't differentiate. Here's an example of that, but great for Circus Circus, makes it easier to clean. You don't have to worry about mystery liquids or things on the carpet. And also, again, this room doesn't look bad. Would you stay here? I want to know, does moving the furniture in? Now, of course, I saw people on X question this, it's crazy that Vegas is taking furniture from one place and another. And of course, we talked about this a lot. Caesars does this a lot with their properties. When they renovate a higher tier property, they'll move the furniture to a lower tier property. A good example, I stayed at Harvey's a few years ago, which is now turned into Caesars Republic, but they had just taken the furniture, I forget, from one of the Vegas casinos. Of course, Luxor has furniture from Mandalay Bay. It also has furniture from Bellagio. MGM has done this quite a lot. Very famously, way back when, during the Great Recession, when Fontainebleau went belly up, the Plaza bought all of their furniture and put it in the rooms, and I had an opportunity to stay there. I don't think I have a picture of that, but I remember the furniture just not feeling like it was sized properly for the room, so maybe that's what you get with all of this. But hand-me-downs, not just in Vegas, but it is actually a tradition in the hotel industry. Circus Circus, I think, is one of 3 hotels on the Las Vegas Strip I still have yet to stay at, and maybe this will get me there, but maybe when I go, maybe that's cheating. Maybe I should stay in one of the older rooms in the Manor Lodge or one of the other towers. I don't know, but I'd love to hear what you could say. I mean, is this room good enough for you? I have to say it is. It looks great, and thanks to Sin City Suites, you should follow that account. Lots of great photos, videos from not just Las Vegas hotel rooms, but usually suites, really interesting, unique rooms. And I love that account. And thanks for sharing these pictures of the Mirage living on at Circus Circus. So let me know what you guys think about anything I discussed on this show. The Super Bowl, what did you do for it? Were you in Vegas? Did you go to one of the parties? The new Hard Rock over in Puerto Rico. Cadence Crossing opening. Are you excited for a new casino? And then, of course, Mirage over at Circus Circus. Do you like those rooms? Would you stay there? Leave a comment. We do 3 shows a week. The solo show on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Mark will join me for more Vegas news and fun. Talk to you guys then, but leave a comment, subscribe. See you next time.